Have you ever felt someone deliberately chip away at your confidence? It's like they have a plan, a secret map that guides them to the cracks in our armor. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden tactics used by those who seem intent on dismantling our self-esteem piece by piece. Have you ever seen a chameleon in action? It shifts its hues, blending seamlessly into its environment, a master of disguise in the natural world. Now imagine this power not in a small reptile, but in a person you trust, a friend, a mentor, or a colleague. This transformation is not fueled by an instinct for survival, but by a calculated intent to manipulate. The chameleon effect in human behavior is both fascinating and unnerving. Individuals who employ this tactic do so with a precision that can leave you questioning your own sanity. Once their deceit comes to light, they don't just tweak their personalities, they undergo a complete metamorphosis. This isn't about growth or genuine change. It's a strategic play to make you doubt everything you thought you knew about them. Consider a colleague who has always been competitive and somewhat self-serving. Suddenly, they're the champion of collaboration and team spirit. Their desk, once a fortress of solitude, is now open and inviting. They start organizing team lunches, they smile more, and their conversations are sprinkled with praises for others. Praises that seem to echo louder when the boss is within earshot. This overhaul of reputation is a smokescreen, meticulously crafted to obscure their past behaviors. The manipulator knows that if they can alter your perception, they can regain your trust, and more importantly, the trust of others around them. Their survival in your social or professional circle hinges on this new persona, transforming from the office shark to the team player, from the backstabber to the backpatter. As you watch this transformation unfold, remember, true change is a slow and steady journey, marked by humble admissions and quiet growth. The chameleon effect, however, is a rapid, flashy shift, designed not to evolve but to distract. It's a vivid display meant to blind you to the motives lurking beneath their new, colorful exterior. Imagine the tide. It comes in strong, washing over the sand, covering everything in its wake, only to retreat back into the ocean, leaving the shore bare and dry. This is how opportunistic individuals operate in our lives. They surge forward with warmth and engagement when there's something in the water for them: support, resources, a chance to shine. But as quickly as they come, they disappear, leaving you stranded, wondering if the connection was ever real. These individuals are like actors stepping onto a stage. Their performance is timed perfectly to the rhythm of their needs. When they sense an opportunity, their interest in your life peaks. They might laugh at your jokes a little louder, linger by your desk a bit longer, or offer help that seems too generous to be anything but genuine. But the moment the curtains fall, the moment their needs are met, their presence fades into the background, just out of reach when you need them. Consider a classmate who only reaches out when an assignment is due or a project needs collaboration. They become the best partner you could ask for, engaging and contributing. But once the grades are out, their enthusiasm vanishes, just like those waves pulling away from the shore. Their involvement in your life is not about mutual benefit or genuine interest. It is a calculated exchange, measured out in teaspoons of attention, doled out only when the balance tips in their favor. This selective presence can leave you feeling like a tool rather than a treasured friend or valued colleague. It's a tactic that not only exploits your willingness to engage, but also subtly erodes your confidence, making you question the validity of your relationships and your own worth in those interactions. Recognizing this pattern is crucial, for it allows you to set boundaries that protect your emotional reserves from being depleted by the ebb and flow of a manipulator's convenient camaraderie. Picture a quiet forest where every creature moves with a whisper, a world of subtle sounds and gentle rustles. Suddenly a storm crashes through, violent, loud, and terrifying. This is what strategic intimidation feels like. A storm unleashed to dominate and control, turning once peaceful interactions into landscapes of tension and fear. When manipulators sense that their influence is slipping, they don't just adjust their tactics, they escalate them. Their words, once sweet or neutral, turn sharp as daggers, aimed directly at your confidence. Criticisms rain down, not openly hostile to alert bystanders, but pointed enough to pierce your armor. In meetings, they might question your decisions with a smirk or casually dismiss your ideas in front of others, planting seeds of doubt not only in your mind, but in the minds of your peers. This approach is no accident. It's a calculated attempt to reclaim power by making you feel smaller, less capable. The manipulator wants to be the storm in your psyche, throwing off your balance and making you feel like you're constantly walking through high winds, bending just to stay upright. It's a tactic designed to keep you on your back foot, always defensive, always trying to prove your worth. In this tempest, your projects and opinions become the trees that sway dangerously, roots threatened by the gale. You might find yourself hesitating to speak up, second-guessing your instincts, and retreating when you should advance. The goal of the manipulator: to erode your sense of self to the point where you look to them for cues on how to stand, how to think, how to be. Recognizing this tactic can be as challenging as standing up to the storm itself. But remember, storms pass, and trees that withstand them often grow back stronger. Standing firm against such intimidation not only preserves your confidence, but also reaffirms your place in the forest, unyielding and proud. Envision a spider weaving its web. It's an intricate craft, each thread strategically placed to capture prey. This web, delicate yet deceivingly strong, is a perfect metaphor for the web of lies spun by manipulators. Each lie is like a silken strand, seemingly insignificant on its own, but formidable as part of the whole web. These individuals craft their fabrications with an artist's touch. Initially, their stories are believable, designed to draw you in, soft and alluring like the spider's silk. They might lie about past experiences, enhancing their tales just enough to evoke your sympathy or admiration. However, as you get closer and start noticing inconsistencies, they add new layers, complicating the narrative to such an extent that you begin to doubt your own memory. Imagine you're uncovering a lie about where they were on a particular evening. Suddenly, a new story emerges, each iteration more detailed and convoluted than the last. They were helping a friend in distress, or they had a flat tire on a deserted road. Perhaps they start to weave in elements of truth, mixing facts with fiction to blur the lines of reality. The complexity is mesmerizing and disorienting, pulling you deeper into their crafted reality. This continuous deception does more than just confuse, it shakes the very foundation of trust. The manipulator's goal is to keep you unbalanced and uncertain, forever caught in their sticky web. You find yourself constantly trying to connect dots that never quite align, exhausting yourself in the effort to discern truth from deception. As the web grows, so does your entanglement. The key to freeing yourself from this snare is recognizing the patterns, the embellishments, the contradictions, the too convenient explanations. Only then can you step back and see the web for what it is, a trap not just to capture, but to control and diminish your confidence. Picture a parched desert under a scorching sun, where every drop of water feels like a miracle. Now, imagine someone offers you a drink, but instead of quenching your thirst, it leaves a strange bitter taste. This is the essence of false benevolence, a kindness that carries hidden motives, offered not to help but to manipulate. Manipulators often disguise their true intentions with acts of generosity, timed precisely when they need to improve their image or regain your trust. It's like watching a stage play, where the villain, after being unmasked, suddenly hands out roses to the audience. The gesture might seem heartfelt, but the timing and the spectacle raise doubts about its sincerity. This tactic is particularly insidious because it preys on our natural inclination to see the best in people. When someone who has been consistently self-serving starts to praise your work publicly, offers support, or gifts you something unexpectedly, it can feel disorienting. You might question whether they've truly changed or if you've misjudged them all along. However, these acts of kindness are often strategic, deployed to create a facade of change or empathy. They are designed to confuse and to throw off your judgment. For instance, a colleague who has been undermining you might suddenly nominate you for an award. The public recognition forces you to reconsider their motives and perhaps to silence any doubts you've shared with others. Recognizing false benevolence requires a careful examination of patterns and timing. True change is consistent and does not seek the spotlight. It occurs regardless of who is watching. By contrast, manipulative kindness appears most vividly on stage, under the lights, where everyone can see the role they're playing. This awareness allows you to see beyond the performance, understanding these gestures for what they truly are, tactics to regain control and influence, not genuine acts of repentance or friendship. Imagine standing on a shoreline, watching the ocean waves gradually wear away the rocks. Each wave might not seem powerful on its own, but over time, the relentless lapping erodes even the hardest stone. Similarly, manipulators subtly erode your self-assurance, not with grand gestures, but through a steady drip of doubt and criticism. These individuals are adept at finding your vulnerabilities, the cracks in your confidence, and exploiting them. It begins subtly, perhaps a sarcastic comment about your recent decision, or a dismissive attitude towards your ideas. These remarks might be framed as jokes or constructive criticism, but the underlying intent is to make you question your abilities and worth. You might find yourself in a meeting, ready to present an idea you've been excited about, only to have a manipulative colleague question its feasibility in front of everyone. The question might seem innocuous, but it's delivered with a timing and tone designed to undercut you. Your idea is suddenly on shaky ground, not because it was flawed, but because the question was posed to make you falter. This tactic of undermining isn't just about controlling you. It's about creating a dynamic where you become more dependent on the manipulator's approval. Each critique, each sarcastic remark chips away at your confidence, making you less likely to trust your own judgment and more likely to lean on theirs. In relationships, this erosion can feel like being in a fog. You know you used to feel more confident, more decisive, but now you find yourself hesitating, second-guessing every choice. The once solid ground of your self-esteem starts to feel as unstable as sand underfoot, with each wave of criticism washing more of it away. Recognizing these tactics is crucial. Understanding that these subtle negative interactions are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader strategy can help you reclaim the firm ground of your self-confidence, reinforcing your defenses against those who would wear them down. Visualize a magician performing a sleight of hand, where the deception is hidden by a practiced innocence. In the world of manipulation, the pretense of ignorance operates similarly. It's an act, a feigned confusion, that serves to deflect blame and continue harmful behaviors without consequence. This tactic creates a mist of uncertainty around the truth, making it difficult for you to navigate the reality of your experiences. When confronted with the effects of their actions, manipulators often adopt a mask of bafflement. "I had no idea you felt that way," they might say. Or, "It was just a joke. Can't you take a joke?" These responses are designed not just to escape accountability, but also to make you question your own perceptions. You're left wondering if you're too sensitive, too reactive, or misunderstanding the situation entirely. This feigned ignorance is particularly destructive because it isolates you. If a manipulator can convince others, and sometimes even you, that any upset is a result of your misinterpretation, they can maintain their facade of innocence. It turns the tables, making you appear as the aggressor or the one at fault, shifting the focus from their actions to your reaction. Imagine you bring up an issue. perhaps something minor like them repeatedly forgetting commitments. The response you receive is one of complete surprise, as if the notion that their forgetfulness could be upsetting is a new and unfathomable concept. This act of playing dumb not only dismisses your feelings but also places you in a position where asserting any further will seem unreasonable. To navigate this fog, it's essential to trust your instincts and stand firm in your experiences. Document interactions, seek objective opinions, and remember, when someone consistently uses ignorance as a shield, it's likely not ignorance at all, but a calculated tactic to undermine your confidence and control the narrative. As we've journeyed through these dark corridors of manipulation, remember that recognizing these tactics is the first step in fortifying your defenses. These individuals, the so-called chosen ones, wield their strategies not because they are strong, but because they know where we are weak. Understanding their methods empowers us to stand firm in our self-worth and deny them the control they seek. In the shadows they cast, let us be the light that refuses to flicker out.